Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today, we'll be covering the Battle of Tours, the Highway of the Martyrs, and the battle that decided Europe's religion. Muslims gained control over Spain. An alliance of North African Arabs and Berbers invaded the Visigothic kingdom under the command of Tariq ibn Ziyad. They defeated King Roger and gained complete control over Spain in the Battle of Guadalete. The Spaniards regathered under Attila. However, the Spaniards were forced northeast as they were powerless to stop the Muslims. Internal fight over Aquitaine. Al-Samh, the governor, led the Muslim army into Aquitaine. However, he was defeated in a night attack at Toulouse. Abdurrahman al-Ghafiqi took control of the remnants of the army and retreated. Later on, Musa, a Berber, threw off Umayyad control as he became more concerned about his Berber brothers in North Africa. Musa made a compact with Odo, once an enemy, now an ally, married his daughter to Odo's son, thus sealing a pact. Abdurrahman and his army rebelled, and they defeated Musa's army, and Musa himself jumped off a cliff rather than being captured by Abdurrahman. The Battle of Bordeaux. Abdurrahman took his army into Aquitaine, but this time he traveled into a westerly road, invading lands up to Bordeaux, where he met and faced Odo's army. Odo's army was nearly annihilated in the battle, and what was left of the army sought refuge with another enemy, the army of Charles. Battle of Tours. After Odo fled into enemy lands, he received aid from Charles and became allies with the king of the Franks. Charles had gathered his army and crossed into Orleans, into Tours, where he held his camp. King Charles waited for 3 months until the Muslim army showed up. In the Battle of Tours, the armies of Abdurrahman and Charles met head-on, while the remnants of Odo's forces outflanked the Muslim army and headed for the Muslim rearguard.
Now we will go on to the disadvantages and advantages for the Muslims and Turks. Advantages for the Muslims include 3-month preparation, heavy cavalry, large numbers, steady camp, and 2 engines in their body. For the Franks, they had 3 months preparation and light cavalry. To count this out, they were very near to the land and allied with Odo, as long as it was the straight line army. For disadvantages, some of the Muslims, they had no clothes for the cold, uneven terrain, hard food conditions, and for the Franks, outnumbered and light infantry. Surprise attack. Odo, and the remainder of his army, launched his attack on the Muslim camp. Once Abdurrahman heard about the attack in the camp, he broke off the battle with Charles and retreated to his camp. Charles, with his army, wasted no time and chased the Muslims. During one of the skirmishes, the man was killed. Leaderless, the Muslim army fell into disarray. Conclusion. After the Muslims lost their leader, they were cornered by Charles, and all of the confusion with the Muslim army retreated back to Al-Andalus, ultimately losing their control of the land and their chances of continuing to spread Islam into Europe. More than 90,000 casualties were taking place in the Battle of Tours. Muslims were having blocked entry into Europe. France have turned out to be victorious after the death of the leader Abdurrahman al-Ghafiqi, and Muslims gave up all Aquitaine land conquered. So here we can see a picture of Saracen advance, otherwise known as Arabs or Muslims, during the Crusader era. They are from Madrid, which is in Europe, going to Tours, as you can see in Aquitaine, which is the land they've conquered, as you can see further into the presentation. And that concludes our presentation. Jazakallah khairan. Thank you for your patience. Subhanallah wa bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant. Astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Wassalamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.